Dinesh D'Souza and his lovely wife, Debbie, are often on here, and they more than anyone else bring us sort of the shockingly xenophobic immigrant perspective. Dinesh and his wife, I believe she's from Venezuela, and we saw just a couple, was it last week, that she was worse about the possibility of Afghans coming here, translators and their families. She was horrified at the notion that we don't even know if these people are all terrorists. They're all going to come here. You know, we thought, a lot of people, I thought, maybe I was being sexist about this, that you couldn't get more douchey than Dinesh D'Souza about this, but Debbie rolled in and shocked us all. Now we're back to just Dinesh D'Souza by himself in this as part of his podcast. It's a shorter clip today, so it'll be, easier to get through, and I'll leave you guys, to enjoy your evening. But this is also part of the talking point. You know how we every so often, if you've watched the show regularly, you know that 1 week the word will be woke, and the next, be critical race theory, and the next will be socialism and Marxism. But they all seem to crib from the same notes. Right now, the storyline is that there's a partisan motive behind the Biden administration's handling of Afghan refugees. You saw Tucker Carlson chip into this. It could be, like a Sinclair communications coordination of the message, or it could just be that none of these assholes are original in any way. And by the way, thanks to everybody on Twitch who's joined and started showing up. It seems to be there's a lot of overlap with the Instagram crowd and Twitch. I don't know why that would be. Gee whiz. But thanks for hopping over. Don't forget to subscribe. If you've got Amazon Prime, it doesn't cost you a dime. Do it. Come on. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. You learn stuff, and occasionally, I make a goofy face. It's good. So, let me see if I can open this guy up. Yeah. See if we can do this. Now, I'm guessing that Dinesh D'Souza is going to go with the same kind of BS we heard from Tucker. That's my thoughts on this, but I'm willing to be wrong. I probably won't be, but be prepared. Okay, here we go.
Tens of thousands of them. The exact number is not.
Hold on.
The Afghan refugees are here.
Oh, the Afghan refugees are here. Climb up a tree.
Tens of thousands of them.
Tens of thousands of so about 30,000 is the number we agreed to take.
Exact number is not known, but
yeah, it's not known. Why not? They didn't give you a map, Dinesh, so you could tell all your psycho friends where they live?
Going to be over 100,000 most likely. One estimate here.
It's going to be most likely over 100,000 that eventually come here. One estimate. One estimate from whom?
111,000 Afghans. Interestingly, if you think about...
Sorry. That one estimate is from whom? Is there a reason why you're not telling me, Dinesh, why where that number comes from? Is it from a reputable news source and you don't like showing that you like the New York Times when you always say you don't? You hate the mainstream media until you like to cite them, which is my favorite part of the right-wing nut. Like, this is terrible. You want proof? Look at the New York Times. You're like, all right. They are either the enemy of the people or they're not. Make up your mind.
The U.S. government evacuated over 100,000 Afghans.
No. Not everybody who was evacuated was Afghan. The 123,000 was American staff and other people too. Not all of them are Afghans. They're just, again, this goes to like, I hope he uses there's actually $90 billion worth of weapons we've given to the Taliban.
5,400 American citizens. So the discrepancy there is very telling. And
what is it telling you? Because not all those people are coming here or came here. So what's it telling you, Dinesh? That Afghans who helped us in the Afghanistan war and their children and their wives, or some of the women actually helped us. That might shock the shit out of you. Might come here. Dear God.
Debbie and I were on the podcast together several days ago.
Oh yeah, we saw it. She out xenophobed you. It was impressive.
And I expressed some
He and Laura Ingraham dated? Really? Huh. I did not know that.
ambivalence about these refugees. I think that when you have people who have helped the United States, it is a good idea to stand by your allies. But as
Yeah, Debbie didn't think so.
I begin to look into this more closely, all kinds of worrying signs emerge. Now, the first one,
boy, worrying signs. Apparently, these toddlers did nothing.
is that the Biden administration is apparently has a plan to relocate these refugees all over America.
Oh yeah, all over America, just randomly, probably swing districts. Is that the story?
And it looks to be that they are emphasizing swing states. Now, that is
Yeah, okay, so we're going for the exact same Tucker Carlson storyline. So here you go, guys. This is another example of where the story is planted throughout the right-wing blogosphere and talking points, and then it disseminates and everywhere, and then this is where you're going to hear it at across the dinner table or some random chat room. They're just spreading them out. Oh, they're only putting them in swing states. This is the way they're going to control the election. Like, just get used to it.
itself really telling. They're not only emphasizing swing states. I see that Salt Lake City, for example, is on the list, but I see Phoenix, I see Denver, Colorado. I see Jacksonville. I see Atlanta. That's Georgia.
It is? Weird. I was not aware that that Atlanta was in Georgia. Why would you need to tell someone that? Oh, his regular viewers.
And I see St. Louis. That's Missouri.
Is it? You sure it's not St. Louis, Indiana? There's got to be a bunch of St. Louis's. I mean, he was a very popular saint. He was the patron saint of arch supports. Hence the
see Raleigh, that's North Carolina. So
Did you just break wind? He did the fart shrug again. God damn it. There we go.
Could be that the Democrats here this is part of the same strategy that they have on the southern border, which is bring in illegals, dissipate them in the swing states, try to consolidate their advantage in those states.
Wait, how did you just slip and say our advantage in those swing states? Try to consolidate? He meant like put Republicans in camps and everybody
This way, or at least over the long term.
Yeah, over the long term. I mean, it would have to be long term because these people won't be able to vote for like 10 to 12 years.
Now, there's some Florida Republicans, including, I believe, both Republican Senators Rubio and Scott, who have basically said, we don't have a problem. Send some Afghan refugees our way. We want immigrants that are socially conservative, that are hardworking, that are pro-American, that help the United States. So Florida, or at least the two senators, don't seem to be concerned.
Yeah, that's weird. They don't seem to be concerned about these Afghans. They do realize they don't speak as English, right? That they speak like Pashto or something. I don't know. Tucker was really worried about it. I think there's a reason to be concerned
about this type of immigrant relocating to Florida. In other words, we saw even in 2020 the example that by and large, the Cubans, the Venezuelans, the people who came from countries where they were fleeing bad things in those countries ended up voting right, voting for the Republicans.
Voting right. He doesn't mean right wing. He means correct.
For Trump. Now, that being said, when I listen to the rhetoric of the Biden administration, these Afghan refugees, these are the people that we owe a debt to, because after all, these are the people who were our translators. And I say to myself, translators? What, you had 100,000 translators?
No. We had, over the time we were there, and it's not all translators. It's translators, assistants, scouts, some journalists like we've seen, and their families, because we're not going to go, well, you helped us and that's great, but your child has to stay in a war zone. You know, you helped us, but did you really help that much? 100,000 translators. Jesus Christ.
These were our allies, Dinesh. They were really helping the United States. I don't deny that there were probably people who were working closely with the U.S. military, but I refuse to believe that there are 100,000 of them. That is...
Okay, that's it. Guys, cut out the special immigrant visa program. Dinesh doesn't believe that in a country of 38 million people that 100,000 people helped us in a 20-year fucking war. 20 years we were in that country. By the way, some of the people who helped us in the beginning had children that helped us near the end. So they're procreating. That's the big concern. That's what we're really worried about. These Afghans, they breed like rabbits. Sure, they're helping us, but do we have to take in their grandkids? Well, yeah, technically their grandkids actually helped us. I don't know. I don't buy it. 100,000. What kind of a ridiculous number? Are you out of your mind?
Absolute nonsense. The simple truth of it is that the Biden administration seems to be basically taking everyone who showed up, seems to have no proper vetting process. It could very well be that they're Taliban guys who go, listen.
Yeah, there's lots of Taliban guys and their babies, little baby Talibans. They're the worst.
We can take some of the war to the United States. Why don't we show up? I mean, these guys have a beard. We have a beard. Those guys don't.
Holy shit. This, by the way, our military vetted these folks. The State Department's working on it. A lot of them, none of them were brought directly to the United States, except ones we'd already vetted and we knew very well. This is, listen to all the soldiers who are talking about people that they know who've landed in Indiana or Texas or other places like that. We have beards. They have beards. Holy shit.
Our names. They don't know who our relatives are. They're not asking U.S. military soldiers to vouch for us individually. None of that. America's not even doing any of that. So.
Yeah, we are. That's why they didn't come straight here. That's why they went to Qatar and to Germany and to Uzbekistan.
These guys are going to come to a country, and listen, this is not the America of the 1940s or 1950s. We're a divided country. We have dilapidated cities. We have...
Well, I mean, obviously, until Biden's infrastructure bill gets passed. And then one day we'll have the most wonderful infrastructure in the whole wide world. Isn't that right, Dinesh? One day we'll fix all of our infrastructure if we could just get those darn dirty brown people out of here. And thank you for helping us. I'm the evil fairy. Mm-hmm. Good Lord.
Major problems of drugs and other things in our own country. We need to work on...
Yeah. Guys, we have drugs and failing bridges. We don't need to bring Afghans into the country. That's one more shit problem.
Nation building here at home. And yet we're taking in people from South America or through the southern border from all over the world. We're now taking in these Afghans. And let's remember that these are people, by and large, who are tribal people. They're committed to Sharia, even if they're not Taliban guys. These are guys who are used to a very different way of life. There was an article.
Yeah, they're used to a very different way of life. Living and working with Americans. They're not... These people were fighting against pushing Sharia more directly than you ever have. They were trying to create a situation where it was safe for their daughters and their wives to work and go to school. Meanwhile, you're here trying to limit women's rights.
In 2017 by Cheryl Bernard, the wife of a former U.S. ambassador who's himself Afghan-born. And she said that
Ew.
The Afghan refugees who have actually been taken by European countries over the last several years have very high rates of crime, very high rates of public dependency.
Those are, first of all, those are just Afghan refugees in general. They are not the special immigrant visa folks. There's a very distinct difference. And like mass migration issues up through there into Europe are wholly different than vetting the people that helped us like carry out this mission in Afghanistan for 20 years.
Look, I'm a little pained in writing this article. I'm writing it kind of reluctantly, but I do want you to know that there are problems that come with this, and yet we're hearing nothing about that. Listen, if these Afghan refugees ended up in the Tony suburbs of Washington, D.C., in McLean, Virginia, in suburban Maryland, if they showed up
where your friends live,
on Rodeo Drive in L.A., if they showed up on the...
Wait a minute. Hold on. Well, pause. Sorry. You don't think there are any Middle Eastern people on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills? Have you ever walked around? I'm from California. I'm an Angelino. You don't think there are people from the Middle East on Rodeo Drive, you asshole?
West Side and Georgetown, Berkeley, Palo Alto, Santa Monica.
Berkeley. Yeah, Berkeley has a real problem with people who are different.
But I think you know and I know that's not going to happen. The idea of the Biden administration is not to stick them in liberal neighborhoods where they might assault or rape.
Whoa. Straight to can, and then went to might, and then they're going to assault her. So the family members, the wives and children of these Afghans who helped us, are going to rape people in conservative districts. What the fuck? Obviously Debbie has been talking to him. Good Lord, man. Just gross.
The daughters of some prominent, lobbyist or some prominent attorney who's a Democrat.
Sorry, lobbyists or Democratic attorneys. These are the main.
No, the idea is, why don't we kind of give them to the heartland? That's, after all, where we've got the political problem. Let's deposit these refugees over there.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So this is our strategy. Let's take a bunch of people who can't vote for 12 years, put them in the heartland, which we were in the process of turning purple, by the way. And apparently they're going to run around and rape and murder everybody. And it was our idea to put them there. And that'll be the thing that leads people to vote our way. Literally flabbergasted.
And long-term, let's harvest the political benefit of it.
Yes, let's harvest the political benefit of airdropping rapists on the heartland. What? Said no one ever. Criminy. Look at this. Al, please don't show this guy again. This is like Dinesh D'Souza. This asshole is... He never got kicked off of YouTube. He's always there. But this is how the rubber hits the road in right-wing talking points. This is how it happens. And that's the end of it. That's his clip. Christ almighty. Ends with they're gonna like spread Afghan rapists all over the heartland and reap the political benefits. That is an actual thought from this asshole. Now, here's the good part. You want to hear the good part? This is the good part. No one takes this asshole seriously. No one. Dinesh D'Souza is a joke. He's, between him and Sebastian Gorka and a couple other people, it's a circle jerk. Nobody listens to it. No, honestly. And again, I get pretty good numbers on my sites. I'm proud of them. We're a growing network. I got 3,000 subscribers plus on my YouTube channel. Last year we were trying to hit 5. It's normal, right? This guy has 623,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. 623,000 subscribers. 8,000 views. This will probably top out at 12. Most of his videos are like that. Let's take a look. Some of the only ones, again, we've shown this before, but the only ones that don't are when he has other people in the, here we go. Hold on. Let me click over to here. The only ones, here we go, that do well, that have like a lot more views. Save Me, the Dinesh D'Souza podcast. He's got 5,000 views on his podcast. And he has 623,000 subscribers. There, he tops out. There's a couple of these where he has like Gad Sad on, who has an audience. So Gad's audience will come over and watch it. So he's got 14K on something like that. Or if he puts on his thing like, look at Biden crashes and burns, this kind of thing. There's a picture of Biden and it's got 55,000 views. Or here's Psaki called out, reported about 212,000 views. It's a minute. It's a clip from the show. It's a minute 14, minute 16 on these clips. He's not in them. He gets huge hits off this stuff when he's not in his stuff. He does really well when he's not in his own videos. And stuff that are, stuff that's weeks old tops out. There you go. Reporter reveals results of humiliating poll against Joe Biden. 94,000 views. It's a minute 7, this one right here. Here come the Afghans. And this is the hour long that he had with his wife, which was just horrifying.